Good morning. Welcome. It's good to have you all here. And we're going to sing Spirit of Spring. I wake up and the sun is shining. It makes the world look bright. And all of the joy and the love come into my life today. A song of praise the birds are singing, singing with all their might. And all of the joy and the love come into my life today. All of the joy and the love come into my life today. All of the joy and the love into my life today. My heart is full, my eyes are open, everything is new. And all of the joy and the love come into my life today. There's just one presence and one power, only love is true. And all of the joy and the love come into my life today. All of the joy and the love into my life today. All of the joy and the love into my life today. A spring of healing light is risen, risen within my soul. And all of the joy and the love come into my life today. I now am well, I now am healthy, I now am healed and whole. And all of the joy and the love come into my life today. All of the joy and the love into my life today. All of the joy and the love into my life today. All of the joy and the love into my life today. All of the joy and the love into my life today. Into my life today. Come into my life today. Come into my life today.
Thank you, Brent and Patty. Good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for being here, and thank you to all of you out there in Facebook and on YouTube as you join us. We are so happy to have you here with us today. Welcome to Unity of Hagerstown. So we will start out now with our opening prayer with our prayer chaplain, Helen.
Good morning. Am I close enough? Close enough? Ah, good. Good morning. Okay, everybody, just take a deep breath, center into your heart space, where joy and love, like Patty just sang, reside. And within that wonderful circle of joy and love, we give thanks for this beautiful day, for May Day, Arbor Day, the fruits of Mother Earth. And also we are grateful for this community of faith which nourishes us. And we affirm inner peace, guidance, prosperity, health for ourselves, our loved ones, our family, our friends, even those who sometimes are not friendly to us, and indeed the whole world, calling them into this center of love and joy and peace. And we know it is true that all of us are well, we are happy, we are peaceful, and we are loved. We know this, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you so much, Helen. So if everyone will join with me as we say our mission. Unity of Hagerstown, a welcoming community, embraces spiritual awakening through affirmative prayer and meditation, creating positive path for abundant living for all. Just take that in for a moment. So this month is Jewish American Heritage Month, and we have a quote from Arthur Green. Home is the human heart. Our return to God is in no way separate from our return to ourselves. To the point of inward truth, out of which our humanity shines forth. Beautiful. And now we will have the daily word with Arnie.
Morning, everyone. My many happy experiences and memories may lead me to feel joyful, but I know they are not the source of my joy. One of my divine gifts, joy, is part of my spiritual identity, as close to me as my next breath. Joy wells up and spills over within me, and when I bring my awareness to my spiritual nature and to my oneness with all good and all life, it is an attitude I hold in my mind and a feeling in my heart. The happiness I feel in my life depends on my allowing my inner wellspring of joy to come forth. I nurture my joy by maintaining a regular prayer practice that enhances my awareness of God, and by making time for the things that make me happiest. I go into the world grateful for the joy that resides within me, my gift to share generously. Quote from Isaiah 55:12, "For you shall go out in joy and be led back in peace." Let's reflect on the message today. I carry joy in my heart. Just hold that for a moment and reflect that. Feel that deep goodness of God within each and every one of us. One more time. I carry joy in my heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Arnie. And now we'll have another song by Brent and Patty.
If love is why I'm here, let me be an open channel. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive. Give and receive. Give and receive. If love is why we're here, let us be an open channel. If love is why we're here, let us give and then receive. Give and receive. Give and receive. Give and receive. If love is why you're here, may you be an open channel. If love is why you're here, may you give and then receive. Give and receive. Give and receive. If love is why I'm here, let me be an open channel. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive. Give and receive. Give and receive. Give and receive. If love is why we're here, let us be an open channel. If love is why we're here, let us give and then receive. Give and receive. Give and receive. If love is why you're here, may you be an open channel. If love is why you're here, may you give and then receive. Give and receive. Give and receive. If love is why I'm here, let me be an open channel. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive. Let us give and then receive. May you give and then receive.
Ooh, beautiful. Thank you, Brent and Patty. And good morning, everybody. You know, can you just talk amongst yourself for a second? I need a drink of water. Sorry. Okay, ready to go now. I feel much better. So, So the Choctaw Nation, as you may know, was the first tribe to be relocated, forced to relocate to Oklahoma and what is now known as the Trail of Tears. It's the first tribe of 5 tribes that were relocated. And when they arrived in Oklahoma, you can imagine life was difficult. They were grieving. It was just unbelievable. We can't even imagine what they went through. But even in the midst of that, when they heard about the great potato famine over in Ireland, they pulled their resources together and sent $170 to the Irish, which is equivalent to about $6,000 in today's currency. Well, the Irish never forgot their generosity, because, that is super generous. And the two peoples on either side of the Atlantic bonded. And so when The Navajo and Hopi nations were hit hard during the pandemic, during COVID. The Irish pulled together some of their resources to help fund over $5 million for medical supplies, food, and water. This is such a lesson for all of us in compassionate generosity. But even more than that, it's a lesson in giving and receiving. As we give, we receive. Luke chapter 6 tells us, "Give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. It will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you." It may not always be returned to you in the way that you think it will, but we know that this is a spiritual law. In fact, A Course in Miracles tells us giving and receiving are the same. They are the same thing. As we give, we do indeed receive. So last week we looked at Earth Day, and we talked a little bit about living in reciprocity with Mother Earth. Being more than just a consumer, but actually giving back. And this doesn't necessarily mean that we have to do big things, but I think that there's something we all can do. It begins with an attitude, moving into a greater awareness that the divine dances throughout creation. You know, there is a natural giving and receiving in nature. The breath of plants brings life to animals. The breath of animals gives life to plants. Robin Kimmerer says, "My breath is your breath. Your breath is mine. The saliva of grazing buffalo causes the grass to grow taller." We're all interconnected. And you know, we do return this earth body back to the soil at some point, hopefully enriching it. But when we reflect on the interdependence of creation, we are invited to move into that attitude of appreciation. And when we begin to recognize the divine shining through every plant, every tree, every animal, that gratitude can then shift into awe. And that invites us to give back from the heart. We're told to give selflessly, with no agenda, no strings attached. When appropriate, give mindfully, with compassion and non-judgment, but most importantly, give freely. This is the key to creating a life of wholeness. So even when we give, we're already receiving more balance in our lives. To show appreciation for nature and all of its inhabitants, human and non-human, is perhaps one of our greatest callings. In the Native American tradition, one would ask permission before plucking a blueberry, cutting a blade of grass, and if your heart says the answer is no, you would move on. This time of year, we have celebrations galore, celebrating and loving the world. Poets and artists know how to do this. Mary Oliver writes, "My work is loving the world. Here are the sunflowers, there the hummingbird, equal seekers of sweetness. Here the quickening yeast, there the blue plums, here the clam deep in the speckled sand. Are my boots old? Is my coat torn? Am I no longer young and still not half perfect? Let me keep my mind on what matters, which is my work, which is mostly standing still and learning to be astonished." The phoebe, the delphinium, the sheep in the pasture, and the pasture, which is mostly rejoicing, since all ingredients are here, which is gratitude, to be given a mind and a heart and these body clothes, a mouth with which to give shouts of joy to the moth and the wren, to the sleepy dug-up clam, telling them all over and over how it is that we live forever. Peter Kalmus, who is a physicist for NASA, when he started studying the science behind the climate change and the environment, he began making changes in his life. He no longer flies on an airplane because of the fossil fuel consumption. He rides his bicycle from most places. He became a vegetarian as well. He saw this as part of his spiritual practice. He says, these two seemingly disparate things, reducing my own fossil fuel use and increasing my ability to love, are actually intimately interconnected. So some of the celebrations coming up this week, Cinco de Mayo, it's become a kind of a celebration of Mexican culture, although it was started as a celebration of a Mexican battle. But we have shifted things in America. That's how we do things. And then today is May Day, or the Gaelic festival of Beltane, which marks the beginning of summer. Beltane is one of the 4 quarter-day festivals, and members of the community would come together to celebrate the return of summer. This observance is an important time of the year in the turning of the wheel of the year, and it was characterized by a bonfire. Also, by the return of the fertility of the land. You can look out the window and see greenery. The land was becoming fertile once more. It would have been a time when livestock was returned out to pasture. The word Beltane roughly translates as bright fire. And as I said, they had the bonfire lit. That was an important part of the festival. The fire was seen as a purifier and a healer, and people would have walked around it or danced around or even jumped over it. Farmers would have driven their cattle between bonfires to protect them, to cleanse and purify them. And in the communities, all of the hearth fires, the fires in the home, would have been extinguished and then relit with the fire from the Beltane fire, so that they would all feel connected, having this sacred fire in their home. The fire would cleanse and purify their home as well. Fire as a purifier, a healer, a connecting link between the members of the community. So today we may or may not participate in a Beltane festival, but I know that we all have this bright fire within us that connects us to each other always, and it connects us to the land as well. A power within to purify our thoughts, and a blueprint held in divine mind of our very perfection and wholeness. And as the people long ago celebrated community at Beltane, they also recognized the law of giving and receiving with the fire. A fire would have to be fed, would have to be tended to, and in return brought this purifying aspect, this cleansing, healing aspect to them. And when they brought it into their homes, it would serve as heat and a place in which to cook. We all have something to give, even as we receive from Mother Earth. We all have a particular gift to share, a unique ability that others do not. Birds sing, stars shine, bees pollinate. We understand that these gifts are meant to be shared, that it's the responsibility of the one who's been gifted. It's a duty. We humans have been given the gift of words, among others. Language is our gift, and that is part of our responsibility as well. Mary Oliver, in the poem I read, is thankful for the mouth that gives a shout of joy. And Robin Kimmerer says, I've come to think of writing as an act of reciprocity with the living land. Words to remember old stories, words to tell new ones, stories that bring science and spirit back together. So words can educate others in helping them do better, live simpler, have a lighter footprint. Words can be used to sing out in protest about climate change. Words can affirm the very truth of our being and words can also honor and bless Mother Earth. Kimmer tells us that it's been said that people of the modern world suffer a great sadness, a species loneliness, estrangement from the rest of creation. We have built this isolation with our fear, with our arrogance, and with our homes brightly lit against the night. This grief that we carry, not only for feeling separate with the rest of creation, but perhaps also for what has been done to Mother Earth, I believe has been intensified with COVID. But this grief can also be a doorway to love. We grieve because we love. We may be angry at what has been done, the damage done to the environment, but we have to recognize on some level we are all part of the problem. There's no us and them here. We've all put our materialistic wants first. The good news is we can all be part of the solution. We can do better. We can live more simply. We can also follow a path of honoring the earth, a path of love. We can tune into that loneliness and grief that we may be carrying, allow it to be felt so that we can have forgiveness flow, forgiving ourselves, forgiving others. And as we do that, the love returns in full force so that we can celebrate, appreciate, and use the gifts that we've been given, as is our responsibility to do so, to give back. We've been given also the power to choose, right? We can choose to go to sleep, or we can choose to wake up. We can choose to feel the grief, or we can choose to distract ourselves once more. We can choose to be the love. We can choose to use our words to bless the world. Sometimes it may seem, even when we keep the world in our prayers, it makes no difference. We may seem to pray and pray without results, but every word of truth we speak, every affirmation of God's presence and power has its impact on us and works in us to heighten our awareness, to bring us to the place where we go beyond the words of prayer or the affirmation to the clear, vivid realization. Another example of giving and receiving, if we're praying for another, that prayer works on us first. So we can certainly join together and bless the world, or individually bless the world, and know that this is making a difference. Maybe subtle, but it's definitely making a difference on how we are going to respond to the world, how we are going to treat this earth. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, says, "Blessing imparts the quickening spiritual power that produces growth and increase. It is the power of multiplication." Well, for me, this translates into meaning that when I bless something, I am receiving that blessing as well. It is multiplied in me, and it goes out and continues to multiply. So as we move into a time of meditation, we will move into with this blessing of the world. I invite you first, though, to join me in this affirmation. Together, I bless the world with my loving, faith-filled thoughts and prayers. Yes, indeed. So let's go ahead and settle in. Let's get comfortable in our chairs. Close our eyes if you like, or gaze softly on the ground before you. And we do this in order not to be distracted in this time of meditation. Taking a nice deep breath and pausing at the top of the breath. And then exhaling and allowing the body to relax. On your next inhale, may it be deep. Pause at the top of it. And as you exhale, allow the mind to calm down just a little bit more. And then on your next inhale, again, deep inhale, pause, And as you exhale, exhale any concerns your heart may be holding. Know that God is present here and now. That spirit of love flows through us. I bless the world with my loving, faith-filled thoughts and prayers. My environment, the climate, earth, and life that surrounds me is continually blessing me. Everyone, everything in all of creation is interconnected. With this understanding in mind, I know that as I release a breath, I am enriching the atmosphere with carbon dioxide needed by plant life. And that same plant life is enriching the atmosphere with oxygen that I breathe. We are interconnected. There's a sacredness in the environment that we receive from and contribute to. As we let this love, this blessing to flow forth from the very depths of our being, from the Christ consciousness. Let us bless the very atmosphere around us. As we connect heart to heart with not only those here with us today, virtually or in person, we connect with all others who are praying, all other communities, and envelop the world, seeing God present in every spot. Knowing that our loving, faith-filled thoughts bless all of creation. As we move into a time of silence, I invite you to continue to bless, to love Mother Earth and all of the inhabitants, human, non-human, seeing the interconnectedness of all. In the silence, I bless the world with my loving, faith-filled thoughts and prayers. In the silence, I bless the world, and I receive a blessing in turn. In the silence. with love and appreciation, I do my part to care for the planet. Once upon a time when women were birds, there was the simple understanding that to sing at dawn and to sing at dusk was to heal the world through joy. The birds still remember what we have forgotten, that the world is meant to be celebrated. And we give thanks for this time of communion, of quiet, of rededication. And as we bring our awareness back to this room, we can sit and allow the next song to flow through us.
Oh, Mother God, flowing through our hearts, we give thanks for the bread of our lives, for the hands in the earth and the fruit of your womb. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, thank you for this day, for the love that you washed over me, and this joy in my heart I will share with the world. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, flowing through our hearts, we give thanks for the bread of our lives, for the hands in the earth and the fruit of your womb. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, thank you for this day, for the love that you washed over me, and this joy in my heart I will share with the world. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be.
Thank you, Brent and Patty. Beautiful. Another very holy, sacred song. So let's join together in our prayer on the screen. Together, from the heart of God within me, I give forth to the heart of God within this ministry, and all are blessed and prospered. And we affirm infinite abundance and prosperity, continuously flowing into and within this ministry through Spirit, expressing through infinite channels. And we affirm the wisdom, understanding, and discernment in all matters as Spirit guides us along our path. And so it is. Amen. We actually have greeters to do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you're joining us via Facebook, if you're joining us via Facebook and you would like to support this ministry, I invite you to go to unityhagerstown.org and click on the donate button. And as always, your generous support is so much appreciated.
Like the birds in the sky, like the dragonfly, like the trees listening What lives in them lives in me. I am grateful to be breathing, heart beating, joyous and free. Even if hard times are all around me, I am grateful to be. Like the birds in the sky, like the dragonfly, like the trees listening, what lives in them lives in me. I am grateful to be breathing, heart beating, joyous and free. Even if hard times are all around me, I am grateful to be like the birds, like the birds in the sky, like the dragonfly, like the trees listening. What lives in them lives in me. I am grateful to be breathing, heart beating, joyous and free. Even if hard times are all around me, I am grateful to be. I am grateful to be. I am grateful to be breathing, heart beating, joyous and free. Even if hard times are all around me, I am grateful to be. Say that again. I am grateful to be. One more time. I am grateful to be.
Yeah, let's just take a moment to dedicate these offerings to the work of this ministry, fulfilling its mission of an empowering path, a world that works for everybody. So it is. Amen. Please be seated. So we do have a few announcements today. I'm so sad to tell you that our May Day Beltane Festival is canceled, postponed till next year, I guess. However, Safi has generously agreed to, if you have any questions or if you want ideas to celebrate this at home, to check with her and see. Do you have anything to suggest offhand? Fire. Yes. Yeah. So I'm going to repeat that because you're not through the system. For those who are watching virtually, lighting a candle, lighting a fire if it's not too warm in your home, recognizing what you are releasing and what is in full bloom in your life right now and giving thanks for that. Thank you. Thank you, Safi. And then our soup kitchen is this Tuesday. We will be at 201 North Potomac Street. We have the food pretty much taken care of, but if you're interested in helping to serve, well, actually, let me know, and I can give you directions and instructions for that. The service starts about 4:30, and we will be there till about 7 p.m. They actually serve the food between 5 and 6:30, but you got to set up and you got to clean up a little bit. So, and then if you haven't been able to if you can't participate in person or in supplying food, you know, if you want to make a donation that's dedicated to feeding those at the soup kitchen or feeding those at Holly Place, just mark your check that way. That would be a wonderful thing. And it is raining now. No bonfire happening out there today. And then on the 14th, we have our day retreat coming up. This is between the hours of 10 and 4. It is a $50 registration fee. Lunch is included. You know, the Desert Fathers and Mothers, long, long time ago, used this practice of recognizing our senses, our physical senses, as a gateway to a spiritual sense. And that's what this retreat is really doing. Thomas Keating, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he kind of brought it into the modern world with some of his studies, some of his papers as well. And we're just going to kind of take that and use it in an experiential way so that we can, one, become more mindful of our senses. How often do we just sit and rush through our meals? Or are we looking at something without really noticing it? So becoming more mindful of it and then seeing it as a gateway for our spiritual practice. So if you're interested in that, please go to the website or check out our weekly email newsletter. Or actually, there's an event page on Facebook as well. And then on the 18th from 7 to 8:30 p.m., we are having an in-person class. I'm so excited because we haven't had an in-person class for a couple of years. This will be held outdoors, weather permitting, at Blaine Dockery's home. The address will be in the newsletter as well. It is a conflict resolution class, embracing conflict and creating peace. There is a book that is part of this class by the same name, Eye of the Storm. You can find it probably used on any of the local or usual book sites online. And this class is for a love offering basis. And then, of course, I've been up here harping on about the Hark Hike. No groans? Okay. I thought that would get a groan. And there'll be more information on the website with that, too. Any other announcements? Okay. Well, we want to say goodbye to our beloved Facebook friends. We love you. We behold the light that you are. We see you going out faithfully, following your heart, following that spirit of love to make a difference. We know that you have everything you need to do so. Bye-bye. Okay.